Hello friends, I am Dilip Singh. Welcome to the 7th CSS lecture of the tutorial series for web programming. Today we will see the various CSS background properties, right? And how we can use those properties in order to decorate our web page. Okay, so these are the CSS background properties. The first one is background color, right, which is basically used to set the background color of an image, of an element, right. Element can be any element. It can be a paragraph, it can be a heading, or it can be a whole web page. Means we know that whole web page comes under the body element. So if we'll see the set the background color of a body, so that will reflect in whole page, right. Similarly, if we want to put some background image, so we can use background image property, CSS property. Okay, so background image basically used to set the background image of an element. And background image basically when this tag background image, when background image insert an image into the web page, it repeat that image in both the direction, horizontally and vertically by default, right. We'll see how. And in order to control that repetition, we can use background repeat property. So background repeat property will use to control the repetition of an image in a web page, right. The image that we want to set in the background of the element or of the web page itself. Now the another property is background attachment property, which basically used to control whether the image in the background should be fixed when we scroll the web page, or that image should scroll uh, with the elements when we scroll the web page. We'll see how it works. Then background position, if we want to set the position of an image where that image as a background should appear, then we can use the background position property, right. So let's see how all these background property we can use in order to decorate our web page. Okay, so we'll start with the again this HTML web page where the title is let's change the title. This is the previous video lecture web page. So now the title is CSS background properties. Okay, now this web page right now having two elements, one is a heading and another is a paragraph. And now we want to set first the background color. So how I can set the background color? Again, I have to use style tag, then close the style tag, and within this style element we can write the CSS style rules. So suppose I want to apply the background color, or I want to set the background color of h1 element. So what I will do, h1 then curly bracket, and I will use which property? Background color property in order to set the background color. And now the color value, in the last lecture we have seen the various method of applying the color value. Here I am using the keyword method direct. I am going to put, suppose I want to set the background color yellow. Okay, so now I will save it. So desktop here, and now I am going to give the name to this file background dot html. Okay, and now I will open this file. So this is background.html. I will double click, and we can see here the background color of heading element become yellow, right? Let's go to our code, and suppose in place of h1, what I want, the background color of whole page should become yellow. So how I can do this? In place of h1 I should write body, right? Because all the HTML documents full page comes into the body tag. So now if I'll save it and go to the browser and refresh it, you can see the background color of whole page become yellow, right? So this is how we can set the background color. Now suppose I don't want to set the background color. What I want to set, the background image. I want to put some background image into our web page, and that background image should be appear in the whole web page. So in a body selector I will put, in place of color I'll put image, background image, and I have to give here path of the image that we want to set as a background image. So in order to give the path, we'll use URL function, right? URL for unique resource locator. So URL function, and within the URL function in double quote we'll give the path of our file, our image, where it is stored. So I have here in the same folder I have used images folder, and within that there is a two images, flower1 and flower2.jpg. So suppose the path should be images and then flower, so 2.jpg. okay, so let's see what happened. So we'll go to the web browser and I will refresh it, and you can see there is no change. Why there is no change? Maybe images, FLOWER spelling is right. Let me check. FLOWER 2.jpg, images is a folder, correct. Maybe in front of this I have to use that in order to continue the path. So I will save it and I'll go to the browser and I will refresh it. Again it's not working, so we have to sort out why it is not working. In URL we have used the path of the our actual image, so it should work, right? So okay, I'll change it to this way. Sometimes browser will take this forward slash in place of backward slash. So now I will refresh it, and again nothing happened. Images, images, URL, everything is fine. Why it is not working? Okay, it's a question. Okay, background image. I'll go to the browser, refresh it. Oh, now it come. Okay, so sorry friends, it took a little time in order to resolve this. Okay, so there is no problem. Now images is a subdirectory that we have, under which flower2.jpg is basically the image that I want to set as a background image in my web page, right? So here I have given the path. Okay, Now here you can see this is the image. Okay, this is the actual image, and now this image is by default repeating itself throughout the web page. So the same image in the horizontal direction and same image in the vertical directions. You can see here the same image here, here, and in the vertical direction also, right? So how we can control this? How we can control of repetition of an image by using repeat image background repeat property. So within after semicolon here we can write the css code proper with proper format in this way also. This is starting curly bracket, this is closing curly bracket, and within that we can write the multiple css attributes, uh, css rules by separating with semicolon. So here background uh, what I have to control the repetition of the image. So I have to use background repeat property, and its value can be if I don't want to repeat, then no repeat. So this will control, or this will enforce that our image should not be repeated. Okay, so the if I will refresh it, oh sorry, before refreshing I have to save, and then if I will refresh it, you can see there is only one image. Now this image is not repeating itself either in the horizontal or in the vertical directions, right? Because how I have controlled this background repeat with no repeat. And suppose I want to make, okay, no problem, I want to make it suppose x. So what I want, okay, it should repeat in x direction only, right? So I'll go to the browser and I'll, so you can see this is repeating into the x direction. This is the x direction, this is the y direction, right? So x means horizontal, so y direction basically shows the vertical. So this is repeating in the x direction only, and if I want it should repeat into the y direction only, so I will place repeat and hyphen y, and if I'll refresh it, yeah, it's repeating itself into the y direction only. So this is how we can control the repetition of image into the web page. So currently what I want, it should be no repeat. Okay, and I'll save it. And now here see that what I want, this image should appear not exactly in this place, but the position of this image should be right top corner of the web page. How I will do that? See, the position we can control with the help of background position attribute. Okay, so what I will do, I will use here background position, and background position what I want to be top right corner. So I'll write right and then top. Okay, so if I'll save it, I'll go to the browser and refresh it, you can see now its position is now in right top of the web page. Okay, so this is how we can control the position of a background. Even I can here in place of these keywords I can use the value in pixels. Suppose what I want, my image should appear in 200 pixel away from the left and 100 pixel um, bottom from the top. So what I'll do here, 200 and 100, and I'll save it, and if I'll go to the browser, refresh it here, So it's a 200 pixel away from the left and 100 pixel below from the top. So this is how we can control the position of the image by using background position property, right? And the last one is background attachment. So let's see how it works. Background attachment, basically, suppose we are having a big page. Okay, suppose I want to put big page. Okay, it's having many paragraph, so the page will become why I'm doing this, I want to have scroll in our web page, then only will be able to understand properly how background attachment work, right? Now if I'll go to my web page, refresh it, I think I have not saved it. Okay, so if I'll refresh it here, it's coming to the same line, but I want it should not come into the same line. So you may have remember that for that what I have to use pre. In order to preserve the spacing formatting, I have to use pre tag. This we learned in our HTML video tutorials, right? Okay, and now if I'll see, okay, now this is the text. So you can see here, now I have to scroll it, right, in order to see the text. Okay, what I want, whether this right now if I am scrolling it, the image is scrolling with the text, correct? What I want, whether the image should be fixed, means attached with the web page as a background image, so that when I scroll, the image should be fixed, only the text on the image should scroll with the scroll bar. Let's see how we can do this. So for that we have to use what, background attachment property. So what I will do here, I will use background attachment. So here I can give either scroll or fixed. So what, suppose I want fixed, sorry. Okay, so let's see what happened. I will save it and then I'll go to the browser, I'll refresh it. Now if I will scroll, you can see the image is now fixed, right? The image is now fixed to the page. Image is not scrolling with the scroll bar, right? So this is how we can make the image should be fixed. And if I by default it is scroll, but explicitly we can also mention scroll, and I'll save it. And now if I'll check, refresh it, now you will see the image is scrolling with the other elements, right? So this is how we can use background attachment property. Okay, so this is all for this lecture. And friends, after watching this video, if you feel that it was really helpful to learn the concepts, then please like and subscribe the video, and feel free to comments or query if any. Thank you guys.